Plaintiff William Alvarado says the defendant is his brother, and he's always been irresponsible. William claims he didn't even want to be associated with his brother because he smoked marijuana, and everyone thought he was an alcoholic. William's suing him today for car repairs. Defendant Francisco Alvarado Gonzalez says William has always tried to follow in his footsteps because he's more of a jock, and William is more of a straight-A student and a band geek. Francisco denies damaging William's vehicle.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, well, my brother and I are about 2.5 years different. So when I was a freshman in high school, he was a senior in high school. Just dating all the way back then, he's always been very irresponsible, very crazy. He was a partier. He would always be drinking, always be smoking weed, even back in the day. No, he was. We would go out in public and everybody would be cheering, Frank the Tank, Frank the Tank. That's his nickname.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, that's his name,
What
Frank
does
the
that
Tank.
mean?
He was able to just continue just chugging him down, chugging him down, chugging him down. That was his nickname. That's what he was known for.
How many kids you chug down in one evening?
I don't know. I usually black out before I get to a number.
Well, how we do it?
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. That's my brother right there.
You drink until you black out, sir.
Yeah. As a freshman, I was known as the alcoholic's brother. I was known as Frank the Tank's brother. Being a freshman in high school, he would see me in the halls and would say, hey, what's going on? I would run away because I did not want to be associated with him.
You had to disown him.
Yeah, I did not want anything to do with my brother.
In that way.
Yeah, so as years kept going on, my brother continued drinking. He would come home late at night. I would be sleeping, and he would knock on the window to try to get me to open the door for him. And I would be mad because of the fact that I'm trying to sleep. I have school the next day. I have things going on, and I just hear him, hey, can you help me? Please let me in. And I just stand there waiting for him to knock, so hopefully my mom would hear him.
Guys,
He would still make too much noise. My mom would wake up and he would disrespect her. She would be yelling at him about coming home at all times of the night, being super drunk. He would yell at her. He gets very emotional and crazy when he gets drunk.
I have a pair of Nikes at home.
What does that mean, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about things that didn't matter.
No, he's talking about your character because that's part of what you're trying to prove is that he lives a risky, wild, and destructive lifestyle.
That's correct.
Because any person that talks to their mother like that, particularly a certain type of mother, is taking a big risk. All right, let me allow him to tell me some about his character and yours. You have an opportunity to talk about his, and then we'll get to the car repairs you're suing him for.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, let me start back from the beginning. All right, he's more of the band geek, straight-A student type, right? But I'm more of the athletic, played football, jock.
Not so much anymore.
And he's always trying to follow my lead. I can recall one point in case back when we were kids. We were out there on the jungle gym messing around, doing whatever we were doing. And he comes up and he starts trying to swing around, flips, busts his head on the sand. And who has to carry him all the way back home? To my yelling mother, blaming it on me? Me. And another time, 17th birthday, right? I take him out drinking. He's always, I take him out drinking.
It's a wonderful example.
He ends up getting blasted drunk, vomits, apologize, for not in the toilet, not in the trash can, but all over the wall.
That just shows he doesn't drink like you. Go ahead.
I end up cleaning that, and he just goes and passes out. My mom wakes up, comes in, and blames it on me. I took the flack for that because I always got his back.
No,
That's my
because
little
you
brother.
bought it for a minor. You should have taken the flack. And you refer to him as such a square, but in many instances, in more cases than not, the kids in high school that are the squares that they're called, or the geeks, they become the corporate execs, the leaders, the wealthy ones. And the ones that call them those names, they end up being alcoholics, drug addicts, unemployed.
That's him. That's him, all right.
What are you doing with your life, by the way?
I work full time. I'm trying to get back into school.
Your Honor,
Yes.
he did not finish high school. He went through all 4 years of high school with me, then had to go to continuation school. Kept going, lied to us saying that he got his GED when he didn't. Then he went to community college. I helped pay for his books and his tuition because I had a job right there. I was 18 years old. I wanted to help him get his life straight. He dropped out of community college as well. I paid for him to go to bartending school because I thought maybe that would be a good idea for him.
That's not a good idea. You thought wrong on that one.
He went to 4 out of 5 of the classes and then missed his certification test and didn't finish that either.
As I recall, when I was working, when I was 19, I was paying for his music lessons. The musician he is today was inspired by me. I helped create him.
All right, good.
I take some consideration for my little brother. He's my little brother.
Your car repairs you're suing him about.
Yes, I have
happened?
a picture of the car so that we can go ahead and see this.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
This right
sir.
here, it's my 2005 Nissan Xterra, 6-speed manual transmission. I bought this in 2008, around October 2010. I was having issues. I got laid off from one of my jobs. I currently work 2 of them, and I could no longer take the payments. So he ended up taking care of the payments for me, and he also said, I'm going to take care of the car for you. So I said, fine, you take it over. As soon as I'm fine again, I'll get the car back. I get the car back in April of 2011. I got promoted to a new job for the city of Los Angeles, so I was doing really well with my job. I was able to take care of the payments. About a month into driving my car, I realized that my clutch is starting to go out. So I take the car to my mechanic, and he didn't even have to open up anything. He just touched my clutch and said, yeah, your clutch kit's done. So I called him, I gave him a call. I said, hey, you know what? The clutch is kind of acting funny. Have you had any problems with it? He said that he didn't. He said that the car was fine when he gave it to me. And I'm thinking, I can't break a clutch in a month.
Did he ever admit to anything?
No, but I actually do have a written statement from my mom.
Saying what?
You can just, it's talking about the ways that my brother drives.
Okay. Let me hear from you, sir.
Well, his timeline is a little off. And by a little off, I mean wrong. It was March of 2011 when he got the car back. And that's more than enough time for him to, drive the car around and feel around for this supposed problem.
You're suggesting that maybe he did it. He makes a point.
Well,
you had it 2 months before having.
No, it was April. It was the end of March, the last week of March, so that's why I say April. About 3 weeks later, I noticed that the car just started slipping gears. It started, I would rev it up, it would go.
So it was all right for the first 3 weeks after you got it back?
Yeah, it was, well, I mean, it was kind of all right. I mean,
What do you mean by kind of?
What I mean is that the fact is that I would accelerate and it would take a little while to kind of get into gear and to get moving.
Sir, you're double talking me. Let's try it one more time. How long did it take you after getting the car back to notice that anything was wrong?
It was an ongoing problem from about the second week, and so what ended up happening is it got
No, stop your fast talk.
Okay.
So it took you 2 weeks to find there was something wrong?
Yes, because the car gradually got worse from that point on, which is why.
So you didn't notice until the first 2 weeks, sir?
Yes.
So how can you blame him?
Because
it was all right when you got it back.
I mean, because I didn't know. I was trying out the clutch for about 2 weeks. It takes a while to get used to that kind of car. And then I realized the problem.
Sir,
my mechanic.
You had owned the car already. You had driven the car already.
It had been a couple months since I tried it.
Right, and so don't act like you didn't know what it was like driving it.
Yes.
Sir, I'm not going to grant you a judgment. You had this car for 2 years. He had it for 5 months. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed. I'm sorry.
Honestly, you are nothing but a mess up. All you do is drink, all you do is do drugs, and what do? I work 2 jobs, I try to support myself, and now I'm a month behind on my car payment because of this. You don't take responsibility for anything, and I can't believe that you would do that.
All I gotta say is winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Hi, Judge Mathis. My name is David. If I want to sue someone who won't return my dog, how do I put a monetary value on that?
Well, David, your dog is technically considered property and therefore has a monetary value. What might help is if you can find out from a breeder how much that breed of dog costs. I know your relationship with your dog is something you can't put a price on, but unfortunately, you can't sue unless you do put a price on it.